Welcome to Tattoo Shop Talk. We'll talk art and tattoos and critiques and how bad is really bad. If it's something for you, subscribe to the channel. If you have something to chip in, leave a comment in the comment section and press all those thumbs and all that situation. There is a lot of conversation on Global Network about people posting their works and people critiquing their works and people getting offended about critiques, and there's multiple pages where people post their work and there's people saying that it's bad and the pages don't allow say any bad things. So at that point critique is useless because you can't critique, and that it has to be super constructive, and at some point it's like if it's not some weird compliment it's not even a critique. And then there's some places where it's really bad and people post stuff and it's been trashed. And my point here is like, how bad is really bad? Because often there's people who cannot express themselves and they just trash the thing and they use really bad words and their critique is really like it feels offensive, but often it's just a critique. So we will talk about like when bad is really bad. We'll talk about artwork and tattoos themselves. I guess let's start with tattoos. Like when bad tattoo is really bad tattoo, because there's like, you know, there's the high end and then everything in between could be pursued as bad compared to that super high end, but often that mid range is super wide. So when bad is really bad, when you can actually say this is garbage. Like let's say you look at traditional piece and realistic piece, what would be the characteristics when you're like, no, this is
like for every tattoo, like doesn't matter which tattoo you do, you can distinguish bad from good by how good the color is applied to the skin or the black is applied to the skin. If you have, most of the times the worst thing that new tattooer does is to work on a place where you never worked before. For example, ribs. Now I want to explain you how to stretch the skin, and when you try to put color into the skin, it's not getting in solid, and when it's not getting in solid, that's like the first thing that makes the tattoo look bad, when it's not solid. And the same with the lines, I would say. This is like the first thing that every amateur sees, when it's like patchy and not crispy, and you're like,
when you see
wrong.
that it's amateur.
Yeah.
Can you be more specific on words solid? Because like solid is like what? Like
Okay.
What's a solid line? Like what's a solid line? What's a solid color? What's a solid shade?
When the color is when the color is consistent, when the lines are consistent, when you don't see through the skin, when it's not patchy, the color should be in fully in the area, but not that much that you damage the skin. So you have to find that balance, and you have to know how fast you are moving, how fast you're moving forward, how good is the machine, blah blah blah. But I think this is like the first thing that everyone sees and distinguish bad from good, when it's patchy, right? Like you look at the tattoo, you see holes in it, maybe lines are not going totally till the end, maybe there is gaps between, you know.
Also the smoothness of lines, because if you're looking, let's say at flower, and you expect to flow like, you know,
Yeah.
in somewhat what it's called, like, I don't know, like a circular smooth flowy motion, but it's like choppy.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, that's not where it should be. What I often see is people try to replicate traditional in their own manner, in their own art
Yeah.
space, and I would say like it's the last one that's on my mind. That's why I'm speaking specific colors and all that. And it was this, like, it's not traditional rose, but it's traditional rose, but you find on the first page of Google, but it's done with way thinner and wobbly line, and it's all like purple, and it just goes from darker purple to some shitty patchy faded purple, and you're like, okay, this is garbage. I've seen that on posts where people like, how can I improve sort of like a depth of my tattoo, and it's like, yeah, try to use some more black type of a thing. But it was on one of those, it was on one of those forums where everyone is complimenting each other. Like, I think if you would say use more black and thicker lines, people would be like, oh, you offended my work.
Many beginners overdo their tattoo by trying to improve too much, you know. I bought these 20 new colors. I will try all of them to make this old school eagle, you know, because I wanna like look super this super unique tattooer. The basics first. You have to learn the basics. You can actually do old school with two colors, black and red, you know, and it's already enough.
And also, like a guy said, you better do a solid flash than shitty custom.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you can take a Sailor's Jerry, Eagle, or Rose and do it one by one with like proportion, thickness of lines and all that, and do it like this is that, instead of taking that rose, do it with a 3-liner line and then do like 15 tones of red in the leaves, which is still size of this. It's gonna look like a scab for the
Yeah,
rest
man.
of the person's life.
Yeah, overworked skin really appears easy. You're like, if the guy's been like digging holes crazy to put that color in it and the skin is overworked, you can also like it start to look patchy, and also like the color choice, you know, and all that shit. But I never understood beginners who want to make old school tattoo and put whites in it and put all these not needed colors. Sometimes I feel they try to
Kato does a decent work with whites, but when a new tattooers do it, it's
yeah. You have to know how to do it. White color is fucking hard to put in, and white color does not go everywhere. It has to go in a specific places. And then there was this one guy. I comment below his picture. Everyone was throwing shit at him, and I was like, shit. Like no one's telling him like decent
advice
for what to do. Everyone's like, oh my god, like delete yourself from internet and
Go back to drawing, ask your mentor.
Yeah.
That's the best fucking. It's like, ask your mentor. Get a decent apprenticeship.
yeah, or change your job, you know. But I wrote him, it's like, why did you put that white in it? Like that was the first thing I saw, that it was awkward. And he's like, what white? I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, obviously you're like trying to hide your white from me now. I see the white is there. And then in the end, he's like, yeah, okay, I put the white. I thought it's gonna look good. I was like, man, my advice is like, before you know it, don't try new things, you know, like stick with the standards, you know, don't fucking explore too much.
I think overdoing of white is pretty common thing. Also, like
common.
in realistic, in black and gray, in cover-ups, there's people doing this like black to gray, but like gray color, not like faded out. And then they would just put white on like everything what's left. They would put white, and it's like you never see those pieces healed. There's no pictures of them healed, and I think that's like, it's just because they look great, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
then rather you just put black and white, like skip that gray in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Like keep it simple. Like learn the simple stuff before you go explore too crazy. But it's like natural, I think, for if you really want to improve, you're like, fuck it, I'll try this time. Guy comes into the shop and he's like, hey, I want a back piece, and he asks you and you never done it before. You're like, oh, this is my chance to show my skills. You know, and you go and you risk it. I think many tattooers did that, and they actually fucked it up bad just because they have had no experience.
I think back piece is less likely to fuck up than piece like this size.
For sure.
Like I think when you start to put your own artistic interpretation, because like if somebody would come in with like old school rose, but like make it more feminine, and they're like, cool, I'll make it with a thin outline and pink. It's not the rose you want to do with a thin outline and pink, you know?
Yep, true, man. But if you're that bad that you're more bad than just a bad, and you take a back piece, there's no chance you're gonna make good back piece. It's just
I think
impossible.
those really bad back pieces, when you see online and you're like, this is garbage and I don't know how it's done. I think it's done without stencils, where people are like, just like, cool, I can do it, a panther, and they would just go at it.
No,
Like
man.
I've seen letterings here where it's like says I don't know, star or whatever name,
Yeah,
like Lucy. Every letter is on a different angle. It's like
You see
it's
it
not
straight
even
away.
the same font. I think the person did it like just did it. Like, you know, they didn't put stencil. Maybe they wrote it with marker and then they stretch it and they're like, oh, it's off. I'll do it anyway the way it should be. You can tell that like L goes this way, I goes this way. The middle letter is like, you know, they would be just stretching skin from all the sides and yeah, then it's bad.
This is the hard walk you have to walk when you just started. I really like the way one tattooer that was guest spotting in electric tattooing where we were working together. He said, customer for you is you have to just not think about customer but about practice from beginning. I'm like, and there will always be someone who's gonna be like, yeah, I'm ready, I know you're a beginner, let's fucking do it. And you will always, most of the times you will do a shitty work from beginning, and this is the way you walk that walk, you know, like you cannot. And I like I said before, I think it's stupid to post a tattoo you did to show others and ask what they think if you've been working for a tattooer for 1 year. I know you want to rush things, but it's like there's little chance that someone's gonna say it's fucking amazing because you don't have experience. That's it. Like
unless you post it on those forums where you only say good things, or you post it on your social media and you delete all the bad comments. You're like, fuck, let's block this guy, this guy, this guy.
And then what's the purpose to post anywhere? Like, look at the picture, tell yourself you're amazing. That's enough.
To advertise your work and be like, look, I got this many likes.
Well, like everyone is hoping for this, like, oh, I will get fucking famous from this one tattoo, I will post it, people will be, oh my god, this guy is amazing.
If you look at lettering, if the font doesn't look like the font you ask for, then it's not good.
If you don't have a good mentor, you might fucking fuck up tattoos every time.
Speaking of mentors, like you have them as a physical person or maybe you have somebody to ask online, but when you have to start to ask questions online, that's where the real question comes in. It's like, why are you asking this online? Who's like, why you are here? Why
you're here?
Why your work is judged on this random forum? It's like,
yes.
Did somebody told you at your shop that it's shit and you're looking for justification?
It's because no one's telling them anything. It's probably because they don't have anybody who tells them what to do.
The people who tell them what to do is not what they want to hear. And I will repost on 100 forums and be like, oh, one person said it's okay.
Dude, like this is super sad.
I heard from so many people, but that's like from Russians who posted on some Russian forum, and people are like straight up there and they're like, now you should quit tattooing. It's like, this is my best job. They're like, no, it's not. And they said like 3 years later, they're like, they were right.
I think many of us have the, like, when you get a tiny bit better and you look at your work and you're like, oh my god, this is better than before, but you still don't have this level of good, but you improved in a way, and you look at the work and you're like, fuck, I want to show everyone I improved. But from the level,
your customers press likes, their friends press likes, you're like, cool.
All that, yeah, your mother tells you, oh my god, try to sing as well. I totally understand why they're posting it. It's one reason is no one's telling them in the shop, or maybe they don't work in the shop. It's just...
Well, like I said, maybe it's like somebody in the shop said this is bad and they're like, I'll check on my apprentices only good reviews forum.
Fuck, then it's a bad shop or it's a bad apprentice, because like...
Yeah, what do you say to apprentices? Do you say that it's bad or...
I would say straight on, because I like when someone tells me, even till this day, I've been tattooing for 10 years, if someone tells me what to do and I see a point of it, I'm like happiest person alive, because actually more you learn, harder to find spots they are not good. You just, you know, it's good that someone's telling you. It's just sad that if you post online hoping that everyone's gonna love it and everyone is hating it, I think it might destroy your fucking love for tattooing completely, you know? I don't know if it's a good, in first place, it's a good place to...
There's a
It depends
type
on
of
a person.
people, yeah, who would like kind of like you say, like maybe you should try this, and they're like,
If your mother used to call you perfect and someone calls you not perfect, it's hard to listen to someone who calls you not perfect. This is it. This is the good tattooers know what to do. They do research. They think about things. There will be always bad tattooers. There will be always good tattooers. It's been like that forever. 1,000 years ago, there was in a cult. One good poker and another town has one bad poker. They didn't speak language, but they
they're like, the shaman from next village is not so good at triangles, man.
It's like the triangle looks like a circle these days.
It's like this.
It's like a chode.
My colleague Alan posted on the Harsh Tattoo Shop Talk Facebook page, and he was like, that's my work, let me know what's up, I want to learn from this. There was some points, but it wasn't too harsh. It was like, yeah, like maybe a bit of this and that, and he's like, okay, cool, I'll try it. When there's a complete like not great situation, and they're like, oh, look, this is my work, check my Instagram, follow me, and then like 2 seconds later they delete their posts. It's like, ugh. Maybe that was a reason for that.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen all these things on Facebook pages. I can see why people get more on fire to talk shit about that guy, because he's like, no, it's not like that. I'm not that shit. I'm not that bad. And then everyone's just throwing at it.
I mean, I commented once on something, and guy went into my profile, screenshotted my pictures, got them back on a page, like, you are just a fucking piercer, why should you talk about tattoos, your like works are shit, they will not age. And they were like from 2011 or 12 when I first time tried tattooing. I was like, man, I don't use this platform for my tattoos. It's like not for that, but like for you, I'll try to put, like, I know I'm not god of tattooing, but I'll put some pieces up just so you fuckers can chill. But somebody was like, this is gonna heal like shit. It's like, yeah, it's also done 10 years ago, so fucking look, like Facebook displays date, you know, there's like, you can see a date under the picture. There's some people also who cannot express themselves politely, because also on Facebook, on that page, every day I go in and there's like 10 posts that is removed by Facebook, and I click on those posts, and it's because people are like using such a bad words that I can't say them on here, but it's just cussing. It's like, you are this and that, and your mom is this and that, and this is why your work is this and that. It's like, dude, just say it's like, it's bad, because you have to learn about contrast, you know?
Yeah, they on fire, man. I would never post. I never did it. I post few tattoos online. I got like 1 or 2 likes for it. I realized I'm really bad from beginning. I didn't post anything. I found a place where I can learn. Then the rest is history. The tattooers told me I could compare good from bad. So maybe some of these people who post tattoos, they don't even know how good looks. They kind of have imagination how tattoos should look. They've seen maybe in real life. Then they knock something up.
Yeah, can't tell the difference. Also, like the people who talk all that crap, it's like same groups of people. And it's like, don't you have a job?
Now they don't.
I mean, I'm locked down for a month now. Like I've repainted the whole shop. I got extra space. I've been all all time. It's like,
it's the same to me. I think I am more busy now than I was when I was tattooing before lockdown. Suddenly I have time to do all these things I wanted to do for some time. Man, I want to do it. I don't want to sleep. It's just waste of time sleeping. I just want to... I don't know how long this lockdown's gonna keep on. I just have to do everything I can while the lockdown is on. So it's crazy.
Well, some people just spend time like, oh, I feel fucked, so I'll just gonna shit on everyone. Okay, critique. Tell that people's work is shit, but tell it in a manner so at least Facebook doesn't have to delete it. Like, if moderators of the page don't delete, there's often so much rudeness that Facebook is deleting them. They're like, this goes against our like policy.
But these people are just fucked up, man. Like they are everywhere these days. You even like doesn't matter what you you said you fucking ate too much cake in the Christmas time, and now you're overweight, and suddenly everyone's attacking you, or you're talking bad things about weight.
Maybe it's the lockdown just
think it's
getting on people's nerves.
Oh
like,
man, that's number one. Man, there's a lot of people waiting when they're gonna talk shit about someone, especially tattoos, because it's this.
Also, if you post something and somebody says this is shit, I think correct answer would be like, could you be more specific? Like, just explain.
Yeah, for sure.
And if they're like, oh, if it's straight up garbage, you're like, oh, okay, it's straight up garbage. But if you can pinpoint out points like, no, internet is not a moral support.
It's not the place where you're gonna put yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, like we talked about places where you want to be, you have to decide, I want to be in that place. Whatever, if it's like a tattoo shop, a place in an internet forum, your imaginary headspace, and like, I want to be there, and then you have to ask people, okay, why it's not good? Because I want to be there. Instead of being like, oh, you said it's shit, then I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, I guess so. One thing is how you post it, and another thing is what you posted and where you posted. But still, like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea to show your work on Facebook when you're just beginner. 99% you're gonna get shit. And what's gonna do good for you? You're gonna fucking be sad.
Before you post it, you have to go through like 100 posts on that page and see what's going on that page. Because many people just jump in a page, they're like, look at me, I'm awesome. And then they're like, no, you're not. But if you scroll down, there's like 50 of people posting same shit and having same reaction.
I actually, some people writing me and sending me tattoos and asking, what do you think? And I explained them nicely. By the way, before I finish this, I don't want now people sending me any works to judge, because I don't like it. but yeah, I got some few, and I explained to them, and they really took that really nicely. I think this is one of the ways to do it. Write some tattooer and ask for advice.
Better option would be to show up
In a shop.
Yeah.
If you have balls to do that.
It would be more waste of time, but it would be better reaction, and it would be like, you know, maybe you didn't understand the tone, maybe person asked it funky, and all that.
But imagine
What's
if
your jazz?
the guy goes to a shop where these dickheads work who are commenting on stuff.
Yeah, but go to 5 shops. Go to one place, say like, oh,
You have to have balls to do that, but I would recommend that as well. Man, we have some people we had who came to the shop and asked these questions. For example, in our shop, if someone comes and nicely asks for advice or whatever, everyone in our shop is more than happy to help it out. It takes you 5 minutes and you like make the guy's day fucking forever, like.
Where should you post your artwork?
I think the Instagram is perfect place to post. You're not gonna get too much shit of it. Some people will like it, some not. I think it's the best place, and then you can grow. And some people will comment you maybe, oh, you're getting better, like shit like that. If they're following.
There's no dislike button, so if it's really bad, they will actually comment it. And if it's not good enough, you will not get enough likes.
I didn't use Instagram for first 1.5 years. My manager asked me like, come on, it's a big thing now. You can get famous. I was like, oh, I have nothing to show. Like, what I'm gonna show? Like a fucking Indiana tribal back piece? But it's up to you, man. What do you want to do with your promotion? Instagram is good.
I think, yeah, Instagram, yeah. Facebook doesn't really count anymore. Unless you go in forums, but then you get like all the ups and downs on fucking Pinterest.
Man, I don't know. I
Pinterest
think
is such a wild thing, because like on Pinterest you can be on 30 best tattoos for women on the left arm yesterday.
But you're not gonna be known as the best tattooer. Only the picture will be famous, not the tattooer.
No, but if it's linked to your webpage or something, it can be there.
One of my tattoos got super big few years ago, but they didn't even know who did it.
As artwork wise, I think the best is just like in the shop. It's within actual people.
Yeah,
within actual people, you trust within actual people when they will tell you if it's shit, it's shit, and if it's good, it's good, and where you have to improve, you can improve.
Yeah, that we should talk about how to choose the shop, and then we can start from there. And the guy finds a good place, and then you don't have to ask what people think on Facebook, because this is it. If you're sitting home, no one's telling you anything, you want to know what's going on with your life. You post on Facebook and then you get that shit.
So next episode will be about how to choose a shop, where to be as a up-and-coming super tattoo artist.
Ink Master. Hey guys, if you like this video, please comment and share the video so we can get more response from the people.
It really helps the algorithms. Algorithms.
She. And subscribe so you can see more uploads we're doing. Notifications, I mean. Yeah, and hopefully I'm gonna fly to you someday in the summer, hopefully, and we're gonna do touching video.
Tattoo shop talk.